Hello guys, this is Hobo. Today I'll be showing the first match in the tournament. It was Invictus versus Visix. Invictus is red in the top left, and Visixfan is blue in the bottom right. For interest of time, I'm gonna speed up the early game a little bit. Seems like that house was a little bit delayed on Visix's part. I think he was trying to do that to save up, so he wouldn't have wasted gold when he goes to make his next thing. But you can see that means that Invictus is going to get his first Barracks out first. Happy Valentine's Day, by the way guys, that's when I'm recording this. Let's see here. A very safe expansion for Visix. You'll see that this means his ramp is very exposed. It's very easy to get troops down here. So we got a 1 Rax Expo for our red player up here, and a fast expand Wolf Den from our blue player down here. This raider's gonna get out long before any wolves are done. He's gonna get here, maybe as this one's about 25% done wolf, if I'm being too ambitious. With 2 raiders, this is probably going to do some damage, but Visix has amazing micro, of course. That worker's definitely going to die. There we go, unfortunately. Now, you'll notice that Invictus went to get the space for his natural expansion instead of the one off to the side. That makes it very hard to tell when the opponent has gotten that third base. Whereas Invictus has only seen this, and he's probably assuming that Visix is going a 2-den only rush, which might make Invictus feel overly secured and maybe playing more economical, not knowing about the second base Visix has taken. Again, excellent micro on Visix. He didn't lose a single thing there, except for that worker. He even killed a raider in response. I'd call that profit, but you can already see a gold lead on Visix's part. This is an interesting wall. It's very hard to get units through there. For this match, I want the spectators to keep an eye on gold spent. This is where you're going to see a huge difference in the level of players. As you get closer to the top players, you're going to see less and less gold being floating. You'll see this raider is currently doing nothing down there. Visix is trying to get by that raider and just get in to deal worker damage. Even with that archer, he's just gonna try to press. He's not gonna lose anything there. You can see Snake Charm going down with the third base as Invictus is getting up to 300 golds. Just the size of the army difference is in Visix's favor at this point. He's just being a lot more efficient in what he's doing. Especially in terms of economy. He can easily afford to get this third. There's no aggro against him. He's got plenty of wolves in the front line. By the way, after a comment or two, I did fix my zoom level. It's not a big deal, but it does let you see a little bit more. He's gonna lose this worker over here. No upgrades on either side yet, and you're starting to see some snakes come out on Visix's part. So just check units lost again. Another worker has been lost, which was expected. When these wolves get in, they're going to be able to do some damage. even as they are right now, they're gonna be wasting Invictus's money to repair that house. Debatably worth it. I think he has enough archers at this point where if he just pulled the raider in, he would have been able to defend, and a lot of these wolves would have died for nothing. You will see some upgrades coming out on Invictus's part. I would like to point out the huge difference in workers. 5 more workers for Visix, which you can see in the gold production is about 100, 150 gold. As time goes on, you'll see the advantage that. Forcing a tower on Visix's part. Invictus, rather. The loss difference, 3 raiders to 1 wolf and 2 workers. Very much in favor of Visix. You'll see upgrades going down for him and taking up the dragons. Not too far behind Invictus's. He should be keeping his archers over here more and keeping a soldier down there. As far as mobility goes, Visix got an advantage there. You can see he's starting to get the range upgrades, which I think he should have gone before the forge, but that's a little bit of advice from Epic Pants. Again, both players are keeping their gold right near as little as possible. Visix can't do as much damage or harassment now due to all the archers in the tower, but what he's doing right now is keeping Invictus from expanding or doing anything else. And this is the major flaw of Invictus's wall here, is very slow to move his own army out for defense of up here or try to attack. Just giving Visix, who already had the movement advantage, even more of an advantage. We're seeing priests from him. Those could be good. They might not get a lot of use though, and that's a free snake kill, unfortunately. A 4th base is now finishing for Visix. This is, again, just going to secure that economy lead. 33 workers, 31. More workers on the way for Visix. Not the best move on his part. He's going to be able to kill that house, which might cause Invictus to panic. He should not be taking this fight. He's going to lose quite a bit of that army, especially due to his lack of upgrades in comparison. But at this point, again, he can afford it. 500 gold lead with hundreds per minute. And he's actually going to get fairly even damage there. Just means that right now he has essentially, I wouldn't say no army, he's been reinforcing it quite nicely. You can see the population difference. 1 second. Expect a second message any second now. I'm not sure why Invictus would be shooting us down unless he's planning on getting a base over here. Dragons are starting to come out from Visix, and Invictus is starting to get priests. Something I would like to note is when Visix did that little push, he did see the church, so he's going to be expecting the priests. Again, he's going to try to open this up again, make another attack. Again, I don't think it's the best idea, but he's going to get some kills here. But I don't really think he's going to lose more than he's going to gain. But he's continuing to shut Invictus down, keep him from getting a 4th, keep him on the 3 bases, which in the end is going to be in his favor. Worker count again, a 10 worker lead. That's insane. A full 500 gold more per minute. 3 minutes passes by and you'll see that difference in the army and the upgrades. Invictus has to do something. Drops or a push, he can't be held to his base for this long anymore. For all he knows, Visix has taken this entire bottom side of the map. Let's see here. He is gonna push and kill some of these walls. This is gonna die for free. This one too. Oh, no, just barely saved it. He doesn't have any workers going. I would like to point out his mine's getting fairly low in gold, same with Visix. Visix is now scouting for ninjas. If he was playing anyone like me, he would definitely want to scout for ninjas. We're seeing a second forge come down from him. I would say that's a mistake. He should be instead focusing on trying to expand and recover the economy difference. He's going to lose this army very easily. With a 2-1 to 2 upgrade difference, Visix is going to win that, even with the free ceiling. He doesn't have enough units, enough soldiers to stop the wolves or the snakes. He needs to send these soldiers in ASAP and these priests. Otherwise this army's just going to melt away. A difference of 2,000 gold mined already between Visix and Invictus. He does hold, but the damage has been done. He's starting to get a 4th base, while Visix is getting his 5th. Both mines are running dangerously low, about 10% of the mine left for each player. Upgrade difference is still in Visixfan, with 2 damage and a range upgrade for Invictus, while we have 3 damage and 1 armor for Visix. For production, you'll see 7 dens and a lair to only 4 racks and a church. So in terms of spamming out units, Visix has the lead. He's getting about 500 gold, but that's since he's just making so much with 54 workers. He's going to be able to supply his army very quickly. You can see it's already back up to 150 versus a 98 army. When Beast has the upgrade advantage with 50 more pop, that's very deadly for the Rax player. A 6th castle almost done for Invictus, or for Visix rather. They're killing me with such similar names. Seems he's gonna try to press and kill some of these workers up here. This mine's dead. This one's about to die. He's gonna lose some units, so he should be attacking that. Those would have been free kills for Invictus, but by pulling back, he is going to be able to stop this. He's just going to get flanked, that's the issue though, so it still would have been better to kill his force. He needs those soldiers in the front against this force instead of down here. These workers are all going to die if he doesn't use them to attack. Good micro on Invictus' part. He's going to be able to get some damage done there. Unfortunately, these workers are mostly going to die. He shouldn't have moved them, and he did. There needs to be a reinforcement over here. 61 pop to 150, with Visix floating 600 golds, getting 2 more dens down. He's going to be able to press into this base, kill the workers there if he tries to defend, or press up and kill his tech. Those units are cannon fodder at this point, they're just going to die. All of those workers dead. Yes, he's going to take this expansion up here, but what's the point at this point? Visix is just going to stream units in by the dozens, still floating golds quite happily. Again, all of those workers just disappeared. 28 to 54. About 4,000 gold difference in mines. He's going to be able to go in, kill any upgrades in progress in any of these buildings. And GG is called at the 15-minute mark. Well played, guys. That just goes to show, turtling is bad. I thought in terms of playing, it went fairly well on both sides. The main issue for Invictus there was he was able to get locked down on 3 bases. He didn't do any kind of drops, any kind of economy damage to make up for it. He didn't try to take a ninja base or even press out from his little hamlet there. And his wall made it very hard to press out at all. Yes, it helps defend against the beast player's ability to push in, but at the same time it prevents you from doing anything to counter it. The tower placement as well could have been better. If you put it over here between the castle and the barracks, it would have helped protect this house wall, and it would have overall been a lot safer to do, or even a tower up on the cliff here. That way, if they do get past the house, it will be able to help defend the house, and it will be able to help defend the ramp too. Besides that, I'd say it's a nice game for both players. GG, well played. I want you guys to subscribe and like it if you enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you in the next game of the tournament.